Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to my Practically Imperfect Life. If you're joining for the first time, my name's Abby and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to take you through a day in the life. Fourth quarter homeschooling high school, just to kind of show you where we're at with everything. It was a very early start to the day. My son had a 7:30 in the morning dentist appointment, which I hate doing appointments that early in the morning. It's just kind of, we're all on the struggle bus that early, but we've had so much trouble getting in for dental appointments lately. It feels like they're constantly like canceling on us and like bumping us back and all of that. And it was what it was. But anyways, I thought I would start by just giving you guys a quick update on where we're at with our curriculum and subjects and things like that, because we do kind of finish things a little bit at a time, and I don't add anything new in as we get done. So on my son's side, he has finished his Fix-It Grammar, he has finished his IEW writing course, and he has finished his Shorman Algebra 1. So he is done with all of those subjects. Oh, and he finished his Dave Ramsey courses. He was taking a combination, he was doing college and career readiness. So he's gotten those all done. And then he will wrap up biology this Friday. He has his last biology test. And in fact, today we're going to do our last biology lab, and it's a frog dissection. So I won't show you the whole dissection because I know some of you might be trying to eat while watching this vlog and, don't want to gross you out. But I'll show you the setup and all of that stuff. And the audio of my son doing dissections is so funny. He is hilarious. Dissections are not his thing, but it's fun to help him. So on my daughter's side, so she's my 10th grader, she is done with Fix-It Grammar and IEW writing as well. Now she is almost done with Saxon Algebra 2. She takes her final test tomorrow. She's really excited about that. But her history and her botany will take her all the way through our 36 weeks. Literature, I believe I looked and she's got like 8 more school days worth of literature left. She's reading her last 2 novels. So she's got A Raisin in the Sun left to read, which is technically a play, but she's got that to read. And then she'll have a kind of like an essay test to take on that. So yeah, we are wrapping things up and our school days are getting a little bit shorter each time we complete something. I've had a lot of people ask lately on my curriculum choice videos about the length of our school days, because when I go through the curriculum, it does sound like a lot, right? I know that I cover a lot of subjects and I use a lot of materials. Now, in general, at the start of the school year, when we're doing all of the things, we average about 5 to 5.5 hours per day on school. And that's including our group subject time. Some days it's a little bit longer. Some days it takes up to 6 hours. But even on our longest school days, when you compare it to the amount of time that they would be working on school stuff in a public school setting, it's still very minimal. In public school, like I was at school from 8 a.m. to like 3 p.m. every day. And then I had homework every single night on top of that. My kids don't have homework. Once they're done for the day. So between, comparing the two, I feel like, we still are having a lot less time, but still doing a lot of really good subjects and, some really in-depth study of these different courses. Now, as we move into spring, things have shortened up. We're looking more at anywhere between 3 and 4 hours a day or less, just depending on the length of their assignments. And again, that's still with us doing our group subjects. We do Bible study, art history, and German in our group subjects. So even with us doing that, the days are getting done a little bit quicker, which is great because, it's golf season. Well, golf season's kind of getting ready to ramp up. So the kids are trying to get out and practice at least 3 to 4 hours a couple days a week. So playing like a full 18 holes of golf and then getting their practice time in and all of that. All right, so today in particular, what we need to work on, we have my son's biology dissection we need to do. My daughter and I actually have to go to the tailor because she has Homeschool Prom coming up. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. But we got her a dress and she is short like her mama. So even with heels, this dress is just way too long. So we need to go get that adjusted. We have some things to do around the house. So I have so much to clean up. I just need to get kind of caught up. Like, I had no time last week. And then Squirt the Magnificent, our dog, we had to do a vet visit last week because I don't know if he like twisted his leg or stepped off of something wrong. I mean, he's 8 years old, so, you know, he's getting older for a large dog, but his one leg, he wouldn't put any weight on it. I thought, oh crap, he's like torn another ACL or he's, you know, broken something. So we rushed him into the vet and they're like, oh no, the joint's just swollen. So, you know, emergency vet bill later and anti-inflammatories and pain medicines, and he's doing better. But then his appetite like went away. He like 3 days, he would hardly eat. And this dog does not skip meals, like ever. In fact, he's like the counter food stealer. Like, you can't leave things out. So we were really worried about him, had him checked again, and he's okay. He's all good. He's eating normally now. He's walking on his leg much better. But yeah. So, and for those of you who asked, somebody messaged me and she's like, your dog is huge. Why is his name Squirt? Okay, well, here's a picture of what he looked like when we got him. Adorable, right? Cute, tiny. He was actually the runt of the litter. And every time we went to go visit the litter, we were like, oh, look at that little Squirt. He's so cute. And so when we brought him home, we were like, what should we name him? And we're like, well, we've been calling him, you know, the Squirt of the litter because he was so tiny. So we'll call him Squirt. And then karma came back to bite us because he weighed in at 102 pounds at the vet last week, and he is a horse dog, but we love him. All right, well, I think we're going to go ahead and start jumping into our day. Oh, wanted to remember to tell you guys, but later in the video, I'm going to talk a little bit about a giveaway opportunity that I have for you. I've got some curriculum to share from IEW and to give away to one of my viewers today. So stick around. We'll go over the details for that a little later. But now it's time for coffee and school. Okay, so this is our setup for our dissection. I always put down towels to protect the surface. I pull out some gloves. We have all of these tools that came with the dissection kit from Home Science Tools. So tray with a removable rubber mat so you can wash it really easily. Scalpel and extra blades if we need it. Ruler, scissors, different types of probes and tweezers for being able to like pull things apart and things like that. And then there's pins, because there are times where you have to open a specimen up and like pin it in place. So it's really handy to have. And then this is what we're doing today. We're doing the frog. Okay.
There's a chance that the atoms split and
Okay. All right. So it says use the forceps to lift the skin between the hind legs and make a small incision with the scalpel between the hind legs. Flaps. We need to open the skin up first.
I'm gonna start crying.
We need to identify different things. So first of all, the liver.
Spleen.
Okay, well the liver, notice how the liver is dyed blue.
Yep, that's the
It
liver.
says it's 3 lobes. Okay?
Yep, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I might have to cut his sternum there, but...
Oh, I want to cut a sternum. Oh, I just tore it as a kid.
I told you the audio was going to be hilarious. So I've had a couple of questions as to why I use 2 different literature programs for my kids. My kids are only a year apart. So, you know, why don't I use the same one for one and then the other? And literature is one of those subjects where my kids are just very different in terms of how quickly they read, in terms of how easily they understand different types of literature. And I wanted to choose things that would play upon their strengths and not be frustrating. Like, I want them to learn, but I don't want them to be frustrated while learning. And so I've made choices based on what I think fits best with each kid. So my son's done BJU almost exclusively thus far. He did it all through middle school. He did it his freshman year, and then we are going to use it again next year. My daughter has done Excellence in Literature her freshman year. And then the second year we did Apology American Literature. And I did American Literature this year because she was also doing U.S. History. She was doing a U.S. History theme-based writing from IEW. And I just wanted to kind of keep like all of the U.S. history type studies kind of together. I thought it just kind of made sense. We had like a theme going this year. And next year she goes back to Excellence in Literature again. So they're heavier on doing kind of reading at your own pace, answering different types of questions at your own pace. And then there's a decent number of like writing and essay assignments. She's just really good at kind of monitoring her own time, holding herself accountable to having things done when they're due, and breaking down the work on her own. Like I can tell her like, hey, in 2 weeks this is due, and she'll figure out how much she needs to work on it each day to get done. My son needs a little more direction. Like, I need you to get this part done today and this part done tomorrow. And we're working on trying to build up that skill of his, being able to time manage without any prompting, but it's just something we're working on, you know, slowly. But anyways, so it's a pretty hefty textbook, the American Literature from Apologia. It breaks it down into time periods. So at the beginning of a chapter, it introduces that time period and the author that's being studied. So I do like that. We're getting near the end, and the reading assignments aren't in the textbook anymore. In fact, so all of chapter 17 is on To Kill a Mockingbird. So she's reading this. And at the beginning of the chapter, you find it here, it gives a couple of pages where it introduces the author and gives you some background on there. So her first day, she read that. And then it gives you like a time frame to get something done. So she had a 4-day assignment where she had to read the first half of To Kill a Mockingbird, and then she had questions that were within the student workbook that she had to answer. And then the second 4 days, it's reading the second half of the book and then answering the questions. And then she'll do the tests. Now the tests are actually included in the student workbook. So if you flip into here, they're right in there. And there's matching, there's short answer questions, and then there's a paragraph answer one, and then there's an essay question. So she'll write the essay question out like on a separate sheet of paper and turn that in. And it does tell her like the guidelines for the essay. Yeah, here it is. So it gives the guidelines on here telling her how much she needs to write. So an introduction, 1 or 2 body paragraphs, a conclusion. And for me, it tells me how many points to assign for each thing. So it makes it easy to do the grading afterwards. But anyways, it's been a really good program. I found it on, I think, christianbook.com, and it was like a steal when I got it. I mean, I think I got it on sale. I think I got the workbook for like $5 on sale, and maybe the textbook for like $25. I mean, it was ridiculously on sale. Like, it was so cheap. And I bought it thinking, well, I'll take a look at it, and if we don't use it, I'm not really out all that much money. And we got it in, and I started flipping through it, and I was like, this is a really good curriculum. But anyways, we have really liked it. If you have a student who is good at like self-time management, as far as, you know, kind of being given a general idea of when things are due, but they need to figure out, you know, what they're going to do on each day on their own, then this would work out really well for them. Or if you're trying to, again, just give them a little more freedom with their scheduling, it's kind of nice for her to know that she doesn't have to have, you know, all of this done on one day. She's got a range of days. So if, say, a math assignment is taking her an extra long time one day, she can do a shorter amount of work on literature, and then the next day she can spend a little bit more on it. And she's been doing really well with it. But To Kill a Mockingbird is chapter 17, and then chapter 18, she'll read A Raisin in the Sun, and then she's all done with literature for this. So I touched on this a little bit, but I do try to tie in the theme-based writing program that we're using each year with what my kids are covering, either in history or literature or both. So my daughter is doing advanced U.S. history writing lessons from IEW. She's studying American literature, and she's doing U.S. history. So she's kind of got a broad theme to all of her work. Now, that brings me to a giveaway opportunity for you guys. I have one of the IEW theme-based writing sets to give away to one viewer today. This is the Medieval History Writing Lessons, and you'll get both the teacher guide and the student book. Now, what I like about these programs is that they kind of go back and they review all of the different concepts that IEW taught in their structure and style courses. So you have a group of lessons in the student book that will cover things like note-taking, creating an outline, rewriting a narrative story, working on an essay, and they'll do several lessons that kind of cover each one of those things. There's also a vocabulary component. So in the back of this book, there is a section that has these like hard cardstock note pages that you can cut out. So they're vocabulary cards, pictures on one side, definitions and sample sentences on the back. It also includes vocabulary quizzes. So you could really utilize this writing curriculum for a vocabulary course in addition to the writing course. The teacher guides are awesome because they give you tons of examples on here. IEW teaches what are called keyword outlines. So it's a way of reading the source text and creating something that you can then build your writing from. So it gives you examples on what those keyword outlines should look like. I can get it to go in focus. So you can help your student. And then when it comes to grading, your students utilize these checklist pages to figure out what it is they need to include in a writing assignment any given week. And then you can use the same page in order to grade the writing. So it makes writing just easy for the student, easy for me as the teacher to grade. It's a really great program, especially if you have reluctant writers or students who just have a hard time with creative writing. It really teaches them the writing skills that they need to have. So again, I will be giving this away. I am going to go ahead and I will announce a winner in 1 week. And to enter, just make sure that you have given this video a thumbs up and that you are a subscriber to my channel, and then leave a comment down below telling me what time period in history is your favorite one to teach to your kids. If you're the winner, I will go ahead and I will comment on your comment in a week, and then go ahead and shoot me an email at this address that I'll put up on the screen here, and we will arrange to get this shipped out to you. Okay, so I just dropped Emma off at home after going to the tailor's, and I'm running to the store because I have a pickup order ready. But I wanted to tell you just a little bit more about the homeschool prom, because I think there are many parents who worry that their kids are going to miss out on some of those kind of big high school moments that we had. And I think prom is probably one that comes to mind, right? Because, for me, prom was an awesome memory and I had a great time. And I was a little sad at the thought of her missing out on that opportunity. Well, we have a couple of different homeschool groups here in our area, and they organize these big dances. There's like a fall dance and a winter formal, and then they do a prom. They rent out this beautiful venue. It's at the embassy here in town. It's gorgeous. In fact, one of my proms was at the embassy. And there's a DJ, there's a photo booth with props. I mean, the whole shebang. It's a full-on prom, but it's for homeschoolers. So my daughter originally didn't have any interest in going, and then she had a couple of friends from her basketball team who were all going to go, and they convinced her to go. And as soon as she made the decision to go, you could tell she got excited about it, because we went dress shopping a few weeks ago, and she was just having a ball, like trying on all of the different dresses. And my kid is the queen of comfort. Like, she will do sweats and sweatpants every day if you let her. She doesn't pick bright colors. She doesn't like sparkly things. And lo and behold, she picks out a long formal prom dress that's teal and covered in sparkles, like head to toe sparkles. It's so pretty. The lighting in the tailor shop really didn't do it justice if you saw it in proper light. It's just gorgeous. But we needed to get like 4 inches taken off of it, because even with heels, it was way too long for her. So she's going to go to prom with a group of friends from the basketball team. There's some from our boys varsity basketball team and from the girls basketball team. So they're all going to go together as a group, and we're going to get together like beforehand, and we'll do pictures and all of that. And I think they're making plans to all go out to dinner together as well. But it's just really exciting because she gets to have that high school dance prom experience. And I'm just really thankful that we have homeschool groups in our area that are willing to put in the effort to plan and organize things like that. So super excited. That's coming up in May. I told her that was the trade-off. I said, if we're going to pay for a ticket and dress and hair and shoes and all that stuff, your mother gets to take some pictures. And they're going to be pictures where you're not posing all funny. Because I don't know, do your teenagers do this? Like, I feel like every picture that I get of my kids, they're like making faces, or they're like, like peace man and all of that stuff. And I'm like, guys, come on, just like stand normal and smile and let me get a picture. So, but it'll be a good time. She's excited, and I'm just really, really excited for her. Another random task for today. I just finished taking a bunch of staged pictures of cookies. So I have a part-time baking business that I do on the side. And so you're always making samples of things to get pictures of for websites and reels and things like that. So I had to make a bunch of floral cookies because Mother's Day is coming, and floral bouquets tend to be a big seller during that time of year. And then we eat the samples when we're all done. All right, we just got home from basketball. It's a little bit after 9. So I think we're going to call it a day on this day in the life video. As always, thanks so much for joining me today, everybody. If you would like to enter in the giveaway for the IW writing program, just like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below, and I will announce a winner next week. Thanks so much again for joining today, guys. Happy homeschooling. Dolly, are you saying hello to your people? Dolly, what are you doing? Say hi. Say I'm YouTube famous. This is why I can't get anything done. Because the cat has taken over my lap. And then the dog has commandeered my arm.